Hello everybody, it's Jack. Welcome back, and look at what we have here, a level 1000. Just to give you guys a warning ahead of time, if you play like really early in the morning, you are going to run into a lot of stacked teams. And and what I mean early in the morning, I mean like really early, like 3 a.m. or whatnot. And yeah, and this is one of the things I ran into. I think this is the first time I ever ran into a level 1000 in this game. And tell me something in the comments, guys. Does Search and Destroy really give you all that much XP? This guy has like, what, 27 something days played, and I mean, I just reached 18 and I play this game a lot, so 27 is a lot. But I mean, does Search and Destroy really give you that much XP? Let me know down in the comment section. And as you can see, his team is stacked, and you know, you guys saw the stats, the win-loss ratio and all that. Pretty impressive. His team wasn't all that good, but I don't care. I mean, if you have a fully stacked team, basically, if you have a fully stacked team, there's communication. It makes all the difference in the world. It's pretty easy to get a kill, and then all of a sudden, there's somebody right behind you because they know you're there because they're communicating. And if you're playing in the early hours like I have been lately, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen a lot. And especially if you beat them, and you know they're a team of 3 or more, and if you beat them, you know, rushing and doing your thing like you always do, guess what? Prepare in the next game for it to be an absolute camp fest with trip mines and shock charges and all that stuff. So make sure you guys have your hardwired class ready because you are going to need it. And yeah, I thought this was a pretty competitive game to say the least, considering it's just pubs, obviously. But hey, I'm all for the challenge. I really enjoy it. It's you know, I haven't run into too many level. Like I said, this is the only level 1000 I believe I ran into, and I'm not sure if they're legit or not. They very well could be, but I just don't know how many points S&D gives you when you play it, because quite frankly, you know, S&D is just, I respect the game type quite a lot. I know it's extremely competitive, especially in MLG or, you know, with the pros play or whatnot, but I don't know, even in pubs, S&D is part of Call of Duty's, you know, blood. It's actually one of the most played game types, but just a little too campy for me, that's for sure. Well, not little. I mean, it is campy. I just like to run around, get a whole bunch of kills, and you know, yeah, that's my thing. So, but with that being said, I know some of you guys are asking, like, what the hell are you doing playing at 3 a.m. in the morning? And the thing is, sometimes I mean, a lot of the times actually, especially at this time of year when there's nothing really but work going on right now at its max, it's just really crazy. Like, I fall asleep for like 1 hour or 2 hours at the most, and then after that I just can't sleep for the rest of the night. So hey, it is what it is. So I get on and I play, and for those of you guys that are looking for more of a challenge, playing into the later hours of the night or in the early morning is definitely you're definitely going to find it. You're also going to find a lot more cheese, and what I mean by a lot more cheese is you're going to find fully stacked teams that do nothing but just camp their butts off, and especially in even in Nuketown as well, which still gets the most popular vote whenever it comes up in the selection, which I don't fully get, but whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I kind of get it, you know, but people will camp their butts off in Nuketown, so you're gonna have to know how to counter it. And by the way, if you find a team that's just camping in every single spot and they get the map on lockdown on Nuketown, and if you don't like the M8, well, you can simply counter it with the Man of War. So, and if you want to get even cheesy yourself, just stack high caliber on the Man of War and go to work and just melt their heads off. But yeah, you'll definitely find a lot of this nonsense and a lot more cheese in those kind of hours. And yeah, it is more competitive. So just make sure you have all your different classes ready, your anti-score streak classes, your hardwired, and all that kind of good stuff, and maybe even a stealth class here and there, because you know, if their communication is lacking a little bit, at least your silencer and your stealth classes will work. So I'm gonna have some more video. I might have a video about that, because you know, obviously there's a few guns in the game where it's better to use a silencer or a suppressor than it would be normally with a few guns. At least that's the way it feels to me. But I recently been having a little bit more fun with the suppressor. Like I said, I've got more videos of that coming up in the future. But so yeah, I'm really curious to know down in the comment section, guys, is this guy legit or what? And does S&D really give you that much XP per game, especially if you win or whatnot? So, and from the stats of this guy, it looks like he plays with a team a lot, and I just thought it was really good that I was able to pull off the victory here in this game, and it was pretty close. But I think one of their teammates back out or whatnot in the middle of the game, if I'm not mistaken, because they were fully 6, and then there ended up being 5. But it's like, hey, whatever. But anyway, one thing I also wanted to talk about is well, we're in late July right now. July is almost over, and then after that, I'd say we're about 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away from COD XP, which will also have the big reveal of Infinite Warfare multiplayer, as well as the COD Champs, which I do watch competitive, which I've said before, and I'm really curious to see what happens, and especially since this is the first COD XP since 2011 and Modern Warfare 3, I think it's pretty cool. I'm really interested to see who wins. I respect a lot of the players, and I am a fan of Optic, but there are other players that I like to watch as well. Clayster's always really fun to watch. You know, to see he and Formal go at it. If that happens, then that would be pretty sweet, because they're some of the best assault rifle players in the game, or just best shooters in the game, period. So I personally hope Optic wins, but at the same time, I really want, like, if the underdog were to win too, I think that would be great. You know, because the person that plays better on the team that plays better on that particular day deserves to win. That's the way I look at it. It's not about who's more popular or who's better, or majority of the time, it's about who's better on that day. So I'm really looking forward to seeing it come September, and I'm really curious to see what Infinite Warfare brings to the table as far as multiplayer. COD 4, again, they're going to show that off as well. So come September, guys, we're going to have a ton of info about it, a ton of gameplay, and on top of that, we're going to have the COD XP to see who wins the huge prize pool of, like, what is it, $1 million or more than $1 million? So I think that's pretty damn cool. You know, I'll be watching. You know, work season's gonna be over for me, so I'm gonna have some extra time to myself, more time to make videos, more time to do, you know, a little bit more of what I want, a little bit more time for me, because it's been a pretty stressful summer. You know, beyond work. You know, you guys know what I mean by that. But yeah, that's I'm just glad I was recording. By the way, for those of you guys that do YouTube, you know, and you're fairly new to the scene like I am, I've been doing this for a little over a year or whatnot. Just try to record as much as you can when you can. Don't ever go without recording. I know sometimes it's just like, I don't feel like recording or whatnot, but trust me, you never know what in the world could happen when you're recording, because you can get a whole bunch of really good clips or whatnot, and good games, and you might run into, like, something crazy that is worth the video, because I played this game for 18 days now. I just reached 18 days, which is a lot, and which is a hell of a lot more than most YouTubers play from what I've seen. And also, this is the first level 1000 that I ran into, at least that I played. I'm pretty sure this is the only level 1000 I ran into, and here he is right here. So he kind of backs off a little bit after that gunfight, but luckily for me, I'll find him a little bit later towards mid, and yeah. But I just thought this was pretty cool, and you know, for those of you guys that play with full teams, you know, I understand it. At one point, you know, you want to try to get as many victories as you can, and I'm actually really you know, now that I'm thinking clearly and everything, because sometimes, you know, when you're playing in game, you know, all sorts of different things can happen, and sometimes your passion can cloud your mind, so to speak, you know, when BS happens in this game. But I'm actually pretty stoked to see that pubs can get pretty damn competitive, which is pretty cool. I mean, on the other hand, to me, it's kind of cheesy, you know, and I mean no disrespect when I say that, but it's kind of cheesy when you have a full stack team, and some of the stack teams are, like, really good players. Like, you'll have a full team of 2 and 3 KDs. I'm not even joking. You know, to go out there and play against a whole bunch of solo players, because the game doesn't always match you against stacked teams, or vice versa. So a lot of times you'll have stacked teams versus, you know, just a whole bunch of single noobs, and you know, but I don't know. Some people just want to go for that perfect win-loss ratio, which is perfectly understandable, and some people want to go for easier stats. So it is what it is. It's part of what makes Call of Duty. So speaking of which, I wonder how Infinite Warfare is going to handle the whole matchmaking. So far, Infinity Ward's matchmaking has probably been the best, you know, if you compare it to Sledgehammer and Treyarch. Now, I prefer, you know, Treyarch's, you know, let's call this, because this is what it's been called. It's not me that invented it, but I prefer Treyarch's scrub-based matchmaking over over Sledgehammer skill-based matchmaking. That's for sure. But at the same time, I think the biggest problem wasn't really the matchmaking in Advanced Warfare. It was pretty much the movement system that made everything chaotic. So I think that's what it was. It was more than anything. So because I certainly don't mind playing against good players. You know, when you see my stats, and I'll have another stat video coming up in the near future, probably at the end of the life cycle or maybe before, because I just reached level 400, I believe, and so just passed for level 400. So I'm either going to do one soon and then one at the end of the cycle, or I'll just do one at the end of the cycle and call it that, and then we can do kind of like a little mix and match of my first combat record video or whatnot, you know, kind of compare a little bit. But you know, I like to play game after game, and if there's a good team, I like to basically stay in there and try to stick it to them and not leave until I do. That's the kind of mentality that I have, and you know, and I think those are the things that make you a better player. Just stick with the opposition. A lot of people, like for instance, and I'm sure you guys have seen this when you play the game, when you see a fully stacked team of players, you know, and especially when you look at their stats or whatnot, a lot of people will just back out before the game even starts. Like even with me, majority of the time whenever I've been joining a lot of games in progress lately because people just leave the lobby after, you know, they take a look at me and they see the level, and then they probably go into combat record, and then they're like, shit, we don't want none of this, or something like that. Which on one hand is understandable, but a lot of players will, you know, leave the lobby, and it just sucks because you gotta play a lot of join games in progress, and it happens a lot. And I just think it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it is a compliment. So, but that is pretty much it. As you can see, we barely pulled off the victory. The guy that came in second under me kind of helped me out a little bit, thank goodness. So, but I just thought this was cool to post, and after this, you'll actually see. That's why I have the clip going right now, is because after this, you'll see that they just back out. They lose one and they back out. Which is like, really? Come on, you guys are a full team. You guys can communicate, you know. So, I mean, stay in there. You know, I would have loved to have these guys stay in there because that's, you know, I love the opposition because, you know, sometimes you just feel like being competitive even in pubs. So, but yeah, that's why I was actually about to leave the lobby, as you'll see here in a second, and then I go back to see, and then they leave. I press the B button to go leave the lobby, and then I decide not to, and then all of a sudden, boom, they disappear. So anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I apologize for the super long video today, but I just thought I'd post it, you know, because it's the first time I ever ran into level 1000 and played them. So I thought it was pretty cool, and in my opinion, it's pretty rare. So and let me know down in the comment section, guys, was this guy legit, and does Search and Destroy really give you that much XP? And are you guys looking forward to COD Champs? Are you guys looking forward to the multiplayer reveal for Infinite Warfare? Or are you just looking forward to it because of COD 4? Now that's the interesting question right there. So let me know down in the comments section, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. And if you like the video, let me know. And if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys soon. See ya.